KTM's 2023 was a season characterised by a lot of change. Right from the very first test session of the season, when Jack Miller stepped into KTM colours, there's been a renewed look and approach. With Jack coming across from Ducati, Pol coming back from Honda, the then Moto2 World Champion Augusto Fernandez stepping up, and the tech-free team being elevated to a full factory team under the Gas branding, KTM's efforts were certainly elevated this year. Big progress was made with the motorcycle in testing and in the early part of the season too. Jack Miller, along with crew chief Christian Pupelin, who also came from Ducati, were able to apply their tried and tested Ducati ways of working to the electronics, and it made a big difference to the RC16's performance. Huge strides were made in the engine braking and traction control management. What it all added up to was a bike that had been drastically redesigned on the outside as well as on the inside, and those changes took immediate effect in the form of results. Miller and KTM's leading light Brad Binder were right up there at the opening round, and then continued to show their speed through the first half of the season, with one particular highlight being the Jerez weekend, where back-to-back double podiums came on Saturday and Sunday. On the Gas side of things, Pol unfortunately sat out the entire first half of the season due to his Portimao crash, and with rookie Augusto learning the MotoGP ropes, standout results were few and far between. Saying that, Augusto was putting in solid Sunday finishes for his rookie status, picking up points in every Sunday Grand Prix from the first half of the year. And without a doubt, the highlight was his remarkable fourth place on Sunday in France, the best KTM group finisher. Binder found his form after that ridiculous sprint win from 15th on the grid in Argentina and his strong Jerez weekend. He should have had a healthy string of 5 podiums in 6 from Assen to Austria, but he was denied twice in Assen due to track minutes on the last lap, losing third both times. While Binder was pulling in the big points, Miller did begin to struggle a little bit in the mid-season. He suddenly found himself in a situation where he didn't have the same feeling with the front as he did at the start of the season. Difficult weekends came in Austria, Misano and India, with the last of them coming in Thailand too. Miller's form was only highlighted by the fact that Brad Binder was right up the front with 2 podiums in Thailand. He did, however, lose out on second on Sunday when he ran onto the green on the last lap, but at least this time he was still on the podium. Those 2 podiums in Thailand were the first for KTM's carbon fibre chassis. From a technical aspect, it's a hugely important development, with it being the first full carbon fibre chassis since Ducati experimented with it from 2009 to 2011. But even then, that was just a front frame. Binder's podiums and also Danny Pedrosa's wildcard weekend in Misano proved that the carbon fibre chassis worked, and so KTM became the first manufacturer in MotoGP history to truly make a carbon frame a success. The comments about it were that it helped with some rear drive grip, something KTM had really been struggling with. The change to the new chassis also coincided with Jack finding his form again somewhat. Whether it was as a result of the additional rear drive grip that the chassis gave, or whether Jack just found his front feeling back again, Miller was back on the pace and contesting for top 6s, a similar position to where he had been running at the start of the year. On the other side of the KTM universe, much of the conversation around the Gas duo had been about the Augusto versus Pol battle for who would secure their place for 2024. With it being known early on that Pedro Acosta would be moving up to MotoGP under the KTM umbrella next season, it was down to the Gas pair to see who would make way. For Pol, it was a harsh situation where he was having to come back from the biggest injury of his career and then fight for his ride immediately. Not up to speed nor fitness, his results fluctuated from just inside the points to just outside of them. Ultimately, the decision was made that Pol would make way for Augusto to progress into MotoGP with the Gas tech-free squad for 2024. With KTM's MotoGP lineup finally set in stone for next season, there's a lot to be excited about. Towards the end of the year, KTM were continuing to bring new parts as they always do, and progress was being made right until the final race. In fact, Binder and Miller should have finished first and second in Valencia, but both made unfortunate mistakes at the same corner. With Augusto staying and Acosta joining, KTM's junior Gas team has huge potential next season, and many are already predicting that Acosta will be a thorn in the side of Binder and Miller. If KTM can make even half the progress in 2024 as they did this season, they're surely going to be giving Ducati some serious headaches.
For more MotoGP action, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you at the races.